Hey everybody, welcome to James Quest, and last night we got episode 4 of The Last of Us Season 2, and yeah, I gotta say, this was a step up from episode 3, and I know episode 3 was, really about mourning Joel and basically taking a breather a week for us to, kind of accept what just happened in episode 2, so I get that. But episode 4, it feels like we hit the ground running. We're here in Seattle. There is soldiers we gotta deal with. There's a bunch of infected that we gotta deal with. And we even start off with another flashback, which I think this show, I don't know why, but it has such a strength of flashbacks, especially because, I guess because it's stuff that's not in the games. So it is able to like fill in little bits of lore. And it's just, I don't know, I would use more flashbacks. Like I really enjoy when they do this. So this time we get Isaac, who, I'll be honest with you, I only played the second game one time. So there's a lot of stuff in the second game other than the major events that I kind of forgot about. So I did not remember who Isaac was or what the deal was going on there. And now we kind of get a lot of focus on him this episode, and he is the leader of the WLF, seemingly. And basically we get to see his turn from Fedra to the WLF, and we get a little bit of how that ended up happening. And then in the modern day, now the WLF is going up against the Seraphites, or the Scars. And so we kind of get this idea that there's like endlessly there's always going to be another group. It doesn't matter who wins now. There's always going to be some other group of survivors that comes into conflict with other people, right? And so just in the world of The Last of Us, people are just as dangerous as the infected, because like everyone has a side, everyone has their own beliefs. Like the Seraphites are essentially a cult. And I believe in the games the leader of this cult has been dead already, so you never really get to see like how did this start. I think in the games you can read all of this, like all these papers and all these notes kind of filling in the history, but I'll be honest with you, I don't think I read those notes that often. I think I was just more playing the action parts, so I actually don't know a lot of the deeper lore here as to like how that all got started, or why they cut their faces, or what the deal is there. But basically all you need to know is that the WLF and the Seraphites have been going back and forth. Who broke the treaty, who did this, who did that. But Isaac has one of them chained up. He's torturing him, trying to get information. And that's pretty much who we're dealing with as far as the WLF. Even though, we heard Abby talk about all the rules that they had, basically why they're the good guys. We don't hurt unarmed people, which, of course he's torturing somebody, so I don't know how you want to go about that in your rules, but okay. Anyways, basically we have Dina and Ellie. They're exploring Seattle now. They get to stop at a music shop. We have our guitar moment from the video games, which I remember being like, like the whole second game, it's emotionally taxing, right? Especially after what happens, and it's like the whole thing, it feels like a therapy session, I guess. I don't know how you want to describe it. It feels like we're going through like a depressive episode. But this was like one of the moments of levity, where like everything actually seems really peaceful and I guess serene is the word. I don't know. Is that a word? I think it's a word. Anyways, she plays the guitar, and Dina sits there and listens to her play Take On Me, and it's just a really nice moment, and of course the rest of it, they end up breaking into the tower looking for any WLF members, because we see they had a big satellite dish and they spray painted in giant words like that, hey, this is us, we're here. And Dina points out, hey, it's probably a trap, right? Like, why else would you advertise where you're at so much if you didn't want people to know? So, obviously be careful. So they sneak in, and they find all these strewn up bodies. So we can see basically where last week the WLF had killed this whole group of Seraphites. Now this week the Seraphites had killed a whole group of WLF, and like their guts are spilled out and they're all hanging from the ceiling. It's pretty crazy. and a bunch of soldiers come in, and now they got to hide from them. And basically all they end up learning is that one of the people, I forget, is it Nora, is that the name? One of the groups that they've actually been looking for, one of the people is hiding over, I think it was like a library or something. Anyways, they know their location. They're like looking at the map, they're listening to the radio, and they're like, okay, that's where they're at. Now, in order to escape, they ended up having to go underground. And I do kind of remember this moment where they had to like hide inside of the subway car, and the infected are just all over them, and they take out a whole bunch of soldiers. And anyways, they managed to escape that just barely, but Ellie gets bit, and so now we have to have this moment where Dina, she knows she's supposed to shoot Ellie. Like, it's this big standoff, and Ellie has to convince her, like, look, no, I'm infected. I'm not just saying that because I don't want you to shoot me, it's real. So she does manage to convince her to do it by sitting in a chair and just being like, all right, look, you can point the gun at me, I'm gonna sit here, and you'll see I'm gonna wake up. And of course, you know, she wakes up fine. And then Dina says, oh, I'm pregnant. And she just found out because she took this test earlier in the episode. And then they get together. They kiss. They spend the night together. You know, so it's a really nice moment for them. Now, obviously, things are complicated now because she's pregnant and they're going to have a baby. And I guess, what's his name? I don't remember the guy's name. Jesse. So they're like, well, I guess Jesse and us are gonna have a baby. So it's gonna be an interesting relationship there if it were to, you know, spoilers, if it were to ever happen. But anyways, yeah, so they get to have just nice moments in between all of the terror of running from infected and running from soldiers and seeing these bodies, you know, hung up by cultists, you know. So it's nice that we get to balance these moments here. And anyways, they agree that no, we're gonna stick together. Doesn't matter that she's pregnant. She agrees to go with Ellie. We're gonna finish the mission, and that's where we leave off this episode. So yeah, just I feel like this one had everything that makes The Last of Us kind of great, right? Like, we got those quiet moments between characters, and then we got the terror of all the rest of it. You know, they fought against humans, they fought against infected, and I will say, you know, this season so far they've delivered on their promise to have more infected and to deal with that more, because season 1 was kind of lacking in that department. Like, season 1 only had, I think, 2 or 3 great sequences of them, you know, having to run away or fight infected. This one so far, they've definitely like amped that up, you know, and I'm really glad they have. And yeah, just overall, I'm pretty happy with this episode. I feel like we're back on track. And while I definitely do not remember everything that happened in the games, you know, like I didn't even remember that Isaac was a character. I do feel like, hey, I should probably go play that game again, just so I can get a refresher onto the exact sequence of events and maybe some of the stuff that they're skipping over. But so far, I think this is just remains like an amazing adaptation so far. So anyways, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.